Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Iron Panther Presents, the last video for 2022. So special edition. As we say, Happy New Year's Eve. As Kim and I shall be discussing Treason. It's a limited series on Netflix, a British spy drama of sorts. And what do we like? What do we didn't like? Is what we're going to be discussing. Rewrites, as always, because this is what we do. But Kim, what did you think of the limited series?
I thought it was okay. It was okay. I feel like they should have given us a better reason. Well, I wouldn't say that. The reason that they gave us, the reason why the treason happened was because the Russian chick, Kara, her people died in Baku, right?
Yes.
And so she wanted the families to know why they died, right? Basically.
Or she wanted to know. She wanted
to know, but she also wanted to present it to the families.
Okay, yeah.
And but that was what this was all about. And I felt like I felt like this should have been more. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think so. You remember all the old knives?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And you remember how like it was present day, two ex-lovers, spies, familiar, but they take you back to the plane hijacking, like back in the day. So they put you in that moment so you can see how that's driving this story, right?
Yeah.
They don't take us back to Baku for us to give a shit. Right, like we don't see it. So like the embassy, so Adam rescuing everyone from the embassy based on Kara's intelligence,
right.
Like the fact that they were something.
And but then like we don't
see any of that.
Like we should have seen when he left her, right?
Right, because
so that I could give a shit that he left her.
Right, because I'm like, I don't. And then like, did she even know that he left her to die? Because I don't think he actually got that, or he would have been poisoned. Because because she's like, you my man, and I risked my career. I lost my career to help you. Yeah. And basically he said, fuck her. You know what I'm saying? I gotta keep it moving.
Yeah.
But we get none of that. So it's hard to connect. It's hard to connect for that. Well, so really the treason present day is the fact that he gave Kara secrets to get his daughter back. So that's actually the treason.
That's the treason, yeah.
But the reason behind that is because Kara poisoned MI6 director, putting Adam in the chief seat, and then she reveals that she's been running ops for 15 years
to get him in that seat. Like she's been feeding him intel for 15 years so that he grows and grows and grows in his career.
Yeah.
So that he gets close enough to that top spot.
Yeah.
Where the chief is like, or controller is like, I want him to, if anything happens to me, I want him to be my man who takes over for me. And I was like, 15, it's a long damn time.
That's a long damn time.
To be giving someone intel.
And then she wasn't even doing that. Like, Bob, like, rewrite. This should have been focused on Kara. This should have been her story.
Yeah.
So we feel that I've been in the trenches for 15 years. I've been running ops by myself, which is totally unbelievable. And all because, I'm trying to figure out who killed my people. Her flashbacks of her with the people, them getting kidnapped or whatever. And then we see her being like, Adam is my new operation. This is what I've been working for this whole time. And she remembers their love and whatever. So because it's, especially with Adam dying, which I did not see coming.
Oh, I didn't see that either. I thought he was going to live and run and be with Maddie and the kids.
Right.
But no, they killed him.
They killed that fuck. I was like, this kid. And then like, we've seen so many, well, we didn't see the body. So we're like, maybe he's still alive and maybe he got shot.
No, he was laying there. His eyes were wide. Well, that means he could pretend to be dead, right?
Yeah, well, we've seen the standard, he has something under his shirt, like either on accident or whatever, and then he's fine, but whatever. But he's dead as fuck. And I was like, oh, man.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. So Kara once again becomes the focus. And I mean, she and Maddie's relationship, which is all kinds of whatever. So so anyway, I thought it would have been, and then what makes her story so awesome is that she wasn't feeding him intel. She was shaping operations where sources would just appear to him.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, oh my God, I'm a genius. Like, that means she was tracking his career.
Like, I'm so lucky. All this stuff is falling right into my lap. Never thinking someone is giving you this information, right?
The mastermind is behind this whole thing is your ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
And so rewrite. So Stephanie and I were suggesting that it's all a movie, so it's all fantasy anyway. But to make it a little bit more realistic, was that Kara over time has built a network of spies, and she has her own like covert organization, and that's how she's cracking all these hard strategic intelligence stories. And when it's all over, she hands it off to her man.
Yeah.
And something like that, but they want you to believe that this one person by herself with a laptop and a gun sometimes has been kicking down doors 15 years across the world. I'm like, but she can't figure out who the secret agent was 15 years ago.
I actually figured out it was him when they showed when he was in the meeting, that first meeting. Was it the first meeting? And he was sitting there.
Patrick, just for the record, Patrick.
I'm sorry, Patrick. Yeah, I have all these people written down. I do. Okay, so Patrick, when he was sitting there, and what was that guy's name? The guy that was sitting next to Patrick, his name was, I think, Malik.
Yeah.
Malik said, so they're gonna do a permanent replacement.
Yes.
And the way Patrick looked, I was like,
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, Patrick just looked at him really strange. And then when Patrick was kept calling Adam.
Yeah.
And was basically like, I'm your friend. You're not going to tell me what. No.
Yeah.
He was in the office with him.
He was in the office with him. You won't tell anybody, but you won't even tell me, and I'm your boy. And
I've been your friend for 15 years and da 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 da. And I was like, it's him, because he's the one that deals with the Russian stuff.
Right.
And I was like, it's him. I didn't know his name at the minute. I didn't know it was Dorian, but I knew he was a traitor. So there was just something about what he said. So true.
Like we talked about this in other shows where like it's the person that you see but you don't see. So when it comes up, you're like, oh yeah, like it makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm. But they always declare how close they are to you. They always say that. They always like, me and you are boys, or we, you know what I mean? They always have to put themselves in that I'm your friend kind of thing, right? But really, you're the person backstabbing me, basically.
But my problem, storytelling wise, and I'm sure they did it on purpose so it wouldn't be so obvious, but the problem is Kara, again, expert spy and intelligence collector and analyst, apparently, and Adam, who's supposed to be equally as good, when they're both saying it had to be a British MI6 agent in Baku that the Russians turned, that neither one of them thought, remember when Patrick was with us? Like, it wasn't just Adam. Like, Patrick was there in Baku. Mm-hmm. And it's like, if it ain't you, bruh, it's gotta be Patrick. And like, they never, again, with the old knives, you saw that all the spies worked in the embassy at the time. So it was just a matter of who. It turned out to be Chris Pine's character, but they were all there. So you knew who the suspects were, right? Yeah. So he made no mention of their past, specifically in Baku. So it was kind of like, what? But then, like, again, he's the Russia agent. And then you got the MI6 director, Sir Martin. Somehow this man by himself, off book, has gathered intelligence on all like UK officials, picked up the intelligence that CIA gave him about Adam. Said, I'm going to promote this dude so I can keep an eye on him. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, you keep superstar in a position, but not so point that if you actually end up poisoned or dead, that now he's in charge of MI6. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, because if he's the traitor, why would you want the traitor to be in charge?
That much power, like that doesn't.
That's a lot of power, because it was immediate. It was immediate. It was the same way like with the president. Like, even I was like, wow.
Hey, Sir Martin is in the hospital. Look here, see, you got his office, you got his connect. I'm like, yo, it ain't no temporary something that he got.
No, it's immediate. I was like, okay. People started calling him.
I was like,
yeah.
So Stephanie and I were talking, and we're like, so again, MI6, Sir Martin, he did his own investigation, covert ops on all these people, right?
Yeah.
But he never did any investigation on Adam. Everything he knew about Adam just came from the CIA, who was probably salty that, Adam was busting all these intelligence cases and they couldn't, which is what Dee Dee said when she showed up, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But he did nothing to confirm he's a double agent. He just assumed that he was. And he also never did any investigation on his other senior agents, to include Patrick and the guy who does domestic stuff. Like,
yeah.
He knew nothing to be like, Patrick could be the dude. Like, he should have known Patrick was the dude.
But that just shows he was not the person in control, right? He wasn't. I mean, his whole thing is he's like the way what was the FBI guy's name? The one that had when John F. Kennedy was president.
Oh, J. Edgar Hoover.
Yes. Hoover. That's who he reminded me of.
Yeah, there were,
That's him, because he had a file on everybody. Everybody and anybody. Yeah. Either down to the smallest person to the largest person, right? Like I'm talking about, so I was like, this is who I think they're actually trying to portray, right? That kind of guy.
Something like
something like that. But it was weird that he didn't do it for Adam. I didn't understand that part. It was like the CIA says he's a rat. I'm just gonna keep this on file. You know what I mean? But I'm grooming him to be my right hand.
Right. It did.
Right.
That doesn't make sense. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And then so backstory's not given. Dee Dee's and Maddie's relationship not really flushed out.
No, because I kind of thought they were lesbians for a second.
Like something happened.
Yeah, more serious than what they portrayed. I was like, so she saved your life, and I was waiting.
You were waiting, like, before she met Adam, it was Dee Dee.
Yes,
and that makes sense to the extent that Dee Dee was like, I'm volunteering to take down Adam because I'm trying to protect Maddie. No, you're trying to get your girlfriend back. Like, I would have.
That's exactly what I thought. I was like, they used to be lovers, and that she's jealous of Adam, and especially the way she said those aren't your kids, like with a lot of attitude and animosity. And I was like, why is that your business? She chooses to be the mom to his kids, right? What? Chill out, girl. Like,
that's lover talk. That ain't no friend. That's lover talk. That's ex-love. That's mad lover talk. That ain't your friend who's trying to go girl who gave you blood or whatever. Like she gave her blood transfusion. But we see none of this. So it's hard to understand that Maddie immediately starts snitching on Adam. Immediately. I was like,
wait a minute. This is the man that you love and you cuddle with him and you love the kids, and as soon as your girl Dee Dee comes, you're like diarrhea of the mouth.
I think
you know he's got secrets, but I can't tell you. It's like, sweetheart. Oh, I didn't get that either. Okay, so you work for the government, and okay. I don't understand how he kept coming home or on the phone.
Yeah.
Saying these things like, this is what's going on here and what this is. I was like, my cousin worked for the FBI. My cousin didn't tell his wife jack, nothing, because he's not supposed to.
Yeah.
Because these things can get his wife killed.
Yeah.
So why would this man just come out of nowhere and just keep telling Maddie, well, this is what's going on now, and this is what's going on now, and this is what's going on? I did not get that part. That is not realistic to me.
I didn't understand either. And then to the point that so you were supposed to be led to believe that Maddie was a military person. She worked for the world.
And I get that part. Yeah.
Right. Okay. But so my point is that she understands the intel game to the extent that she was working with Dee Dee back in Iraq or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But your friend shows up, CIA operative who just happens to be on vacation at the same time that your husband is become the MI6 director.
Yeah.
And then again, you immediately is like, he's shady. Like, he's going out there, ain't talking to me and shit, having phone calls. I'm like, why are you snitching? And then Then your friend probably loves you, goes, hey girl, I just happen to have a spy equipment right here that you can use to track your husband's conversation.
Girl, I mean, David, she pulled that joint out quickly. Here you go, spy on your hubby for me, and then let me listen to it so I can go ahead and get the intent. What?
Like, and she does it. I was like, snitching. I was like, this is some shit, man. I was like,
she kept snitching. She kept on. She didn't even stop. She just kept on it. And I was like,
damn it.
I was, and okay, maybe, okay, now the part where she was jealous, I get that part when she was jealous of Tara. Cara. I got that. Okay. But girl, come on.
And then what I love, right, is that after, like, this guy's giving up someone's state secrets to save their child, right?
Right.
But when Maddie and Adam finally go at it, all she's like, did you love, this is some Lifetime shit at this point.
Yes.
Do you love her? Did you love her all this time? Did you ever love me? Bitch, listen.
So annoyed by that. I was so annoyed by that part.
I'm like, you look so stupid right now. Because again, they don't show you the dead wife.
Right.
And the mother of these kids, right?
Yeah, Cyan. Mm-hmm.
So I'm left to assume that it actually went Cara, Cyan, then fucking Maddie.
Right.
So why am I telling you about an ex-girlfriend I had before my dead wife? Like
right.
that don't make
no reason to talk about that.
Why am I telling you about this shit? I left this woman, and then he had to be like, fuck that bitch. I left her to die, baby. He's like, oh, she's like, all right, now you love me. I'm like, this is.
Yeah.
You gotta get your priorities
She needed
together.
that extra piece, right?
I left.
That's it. Oh, you didn't really care about that bitch. You left her.
Absolutely not. Die, baby. I want her dead. I was like.
Yeah, but if he can do that to her, he could do that to you.
Right. Wait. Did you see her face when Cara was like, I know he wasn't the one that turned my people in. How do you know? Oh, we were fucking that night. She was like.
That was funny. Her face was like.
Oh, damn it. I was
okay. Stop asking questions you don't want the answers to.
Right?
Stop
just
doing that.
Focus on the now. Let's focus on the now. But you like, what y'all doing? Everything. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I get it. I mean, but like, we need to be focused on our child. Did we get our child back? How do we get our child back? We don't need to be going through this. Also, how you know it's a British show? You have people going into dangerous situations with no guns.
None. Like, it's okay to do that.
Like, what? You about to walk up to a house where someone kidnapped your child.
Yes.
Adam has nothing.
Nothing. No, he's just gonna walk in there. Hey, it's me.
Can I get my kid back? What the fuck?
I'm C.
Hey, I'm C now. Can I get my kid back right now? I'm like, this is not American. American would have 2 guns and just be tight. I was like, this don't. Then
and not a long coat either. Who was with the long British coat? I was like, dude, where's your jacket? Like,
it's cold. It's always rainy there. I don't fucking know.
True, but not the long dress coat. Like, you're going to rescue your child. Put on some jeans, tennis shoes. You know what I mean?
Some gear, some fighting gear in case you gotta get dirty. This motherfucker just came out of a business, an office meeting, and he's like, I'm gonna go save my kid, and I'm going back to work because I got another office meeting with the cabinet minister or something. I'm like, you need to dress like you're about to do some op stuff. Like, you do some stuff.
Yes.
Even Jack Ryan dresses for the occasion.
He does.
He's also American.
True.
Speaking about Americans, when Dee Dee and crew showed up, they had guns. Like, they weren't fucking around. Like, they're ready to shoot everybody.
And Dee Dee is actually British. I don't know why they had her have this accent, this American accent, because every couple of words you could hear her British accent come through. I was like, it's peeking through.
I know that.
Yeah.
So again, awesome character, very, very much obsessed. So that final fight when Adam is killed, again, between Maddie, Adam, and Cara, only Cara had a gun, and they had to fucking share it.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is not, like, you need
it's
to be
not logical.
bro. Like, this. I was like, I don't.
But at least Cara had the mindset to have a gun.
Only because they broke into her boathouse and she had to dig she had to pull the gun out from the water.
Yeah.
Her weapon of choice is poisons. That's how she murders people.
Yeah.
Because she murdered that dude. He was a liability. I mean, if you
he had what was his name? His name was Thomas.
Oh, you're good. I was gonna call him dead assistant. but he had the role. I mean, she was killing mad people. Like
she was.
She shanked that CIA agent, that white woman, blonde. She shanked her real good that night, and she just kept it moving. She killed Patrick pretty easily. You know what that reminded me of? Koba.
Yeah, well, Koba's like that. He doesn't care. His
death, like because the poison.
Oh, with the poison. Yeah, that was.
It kind of reminded me of similar.
Not to get on that, but how did they make your eyes look like that? You know what
like to make them all red and like it's like you hope it's CGI because I
hope so because don't put contacts that look like that in your eye. Like to me, that would just be gross. But it looks so real, like the eye is glassy and everything, right?
It's probably a contact. It's probably contact. Like when they make you aliens and like they're all black.
Well, that's true. That's true. You're right. Yeah, that's probably what it is.
It's probably
that. It was well done.
It was. I mean, for Koba's death, it was awesome. I mean, that's what they do, though. I mean, they do how to make that shit. For this one, so Patrick's death would look pretty like painful, which I'm sure that's what she was going for.
Yep.
But so again, let's back this up. Patrick is a double agent.
Yes, absolutely.
Since for 15 years minimum.
Yeah.
So once he hears that a ex-Russian agent that used to be fucking his best friend is now in city looking for him, basically. His first goal should be like finding her and murdering her.
Yes.
And knowing what she looks like.
Yes.
So when she bumps him outside of a cabinet meeting, he don't just go, "Hey, girl, all right, let's keep it moving." Like, oh shit, hey, yo. Yeah. It reminded me of Lupin. The way Kara was just running around London, just living her best life. I'm like,
yeah, like nobody knows what she looks like. Everybody knows what you look like, sweetheart. Everybody should
know. Like to be like, yo, this is what she looked like at least 15 years ago. Like we got her.
She hasn't really changed. She looks the same. Like there's nothing about her hair is the same color. I feel like they should have dyed her hair, like at least made it like black or something. Or blonde. Well, blonde doesn't look good on her, but you know, just something to because she looks exactly the same.
Yes.
That picture is her, and I'm like, everybody has that picture, boo. Everybody.
Like, how did they not know it?
Yeah, exactly.
Also, Adam. All right. So Adam's like, okay, my ex-girlfriend, who I left to die anyway, has just called me up and said, I poisoned your boss so you could be in charge, and I want you to give me intelligence. Apparently, MI6 has killers on the payroll that you can just pick up the phone to be like, I need a code 7 on so-and-so. Have her murdered. I mean, clearly you didn't mind her dying 15 years ago, right? You haven't heard from her since, right?
But he has guilt.
Just kill that bitch. Like
he said, I could kill you, right? Remember he said that.
Oh.
But I feel like his guilt, like I believe in the time that he was with her, that he had feelings for her, right? Yeah. I wouldn't say in love, but I would say he had feelings for her, right? And I felt like the feelings of guilt kind of overshadowed the fact that he needed to have her killed. Do you know what I mean? Like he could have. He could have had one of those guards kill her or take her away or put her in a room or something.
But you're threatening my career, my family. Yeah. I'm like, you're going to go. Like, if this comes down between, and again, if you try to tell me my whole career, you gave it to me.
Yeah.
And like, I'm like, well, then you got to die. I'm like, look here. There's an ex-Russian agent who is a threat to me as the director of MI6, and she just confessed to murdering our boss.
Yes.
Execute her with extreme prejudice. This is what she looked like 15 years ago. Take care of this and call me when it's done. Bloop.
Right. Just like C did. Remember, C did that to Adam.
That's why I'm like,
get rid of him. And he didn't care about the family. Mary didn't want him to kill the family, but he was going to kill the family. He didn't care about the kids.
Again, just to be like, fuck them kids. But I'm like, look, like it's not that hard, Adam. It's not that hard. Like you also to your point of then Martin was like, get rid of Adam. How you only send one hitter? Like you, like
that was weird too. I thought that was so weird. Like this one guy is going to take out the entire family. So what was he gonna do? Shoot Adam and then go in the house and shoot everybody else?
No. See, again, I disagree. I think Adam was the target because more people, more bodies is more collateral damage. I mean, it's like he wanted Adam. I'm just saying, I think if push came to shove, he could have killed the rest of them to get to Adam.
Yeah.
But you send more than one person, because even with a sniper, you need a spotter, like just in case something goes wrong.
Right. Mm-hmm.
As you see, you get outnumbered. Now all of a sudden, this dude's dead. Like it just seems kind of weird that you only send one person. Like the Russian dude got killed pretty easily. I don't know if it was the same assassin that did both hits, but you send someone else just to help out. But again, nobody had guns except for Kara. Only Kara had a gun, so she was like, "Hey, let's share it." And I'm like,
Maddie was pretty good with her gun. I mean, I know she's been to war or whatever, but it had been 7 years?
Yeah.
And she was still kind of nifty with her gun. I was like, okay.
Did you think she was gonna shoot Kara in the back?
For a second.
She was
yeah.
Like, you know what, bitch?
Because of the way that she was moving behind her, I was like, she could have popped her in the ear and been done. And Kara would have just fell, would have been over.
Right.
But no, they had to do that whole women get together and figure out everything, and they work together, that kind of BS that usually, it happens, but I don't know, this situation.
You were fucking my man. I don't think we need to be friends.
Exactly. But they ended up being friends at the end.
At the end, right? It was them two, right?
Yeah.
I would have liked it. Again, I think if this was an American movie, this would have happened. Dee would have been murdered. Like she wouldn't have made it like to their.
Maddie should have killed Dee.
Yeah. Or
even Kara could have killed her.
Or Kara would have did it, right? Like, so when Maddie's calling Dee and threatening her, I'm gonna come get your career, blah, 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 blah. I think if this was an American movie, that would have been just to track her so Kara could be ready. So when the shot comes, boom, right? Or car explodes or something. Well, you're not leaving after killing both of our men.
Yeah, exactly. What? No. Yeah. I couldn't believe that. I was like, oh, they're just gonna let her go? Like she shot Adam in the head, and Adam was not a traitor.
Right.
He was not. He didn't even do it, and you shot him anyway.
Well, so again, at the time.
Well, at the time, she thought he was. She didn't know about Patrick.
Right. So, I definitely would have been like, you killed my man, and I just can't have that, because Car was dropping by. I don't see Maddie killing it, but at that point, them being like Thelma and Louise or whatever, like I can see them being like, we definitely got to get this woman out of here.
Yeah.
So I was a little disappointed that, and then the fact that I don't see how Kara goes back to Russia, or why she even would go back to Russia.
But she kept saying it's her home. I got it. Maybe she got family or mom, dad, brother, sister. I don't know. But yeah, she kept saying she had to go home. So, it's like, why do we want to go back to America, right? Because it's our home.
Well, so I get, if I've been gone for 15 years, living off the land, running ops, whatever, like living my best life, Russia is a place that I visit.
But she wasn't, that's the thing, she wasn't living her best life. She was living kind of transient, right? Because she's doing all this intel, and she's only doing it for the purpose of trying to find out what happened to her men in Baku. So it was a sacrifice of, her leaving her home country and then doing that, right? Living all over the place, like a nomad.
So again, she should have been building contacts. She should have been building money. Kind of like the Blacklist. I'm thinking like Red's character. You know what I'm saying? Like now that she has a network of people, and like the guy she killed was just one of many people. Because at this point, she should have a solid network of sources and
like Anton and
right, like something like that. Anyway, like we heard nothing about family in Russia that she needs to get back to. Grandma, grandpa, brother, something, right? The family members that she's been trying to do this for, of the people in Baku, she could have went back to Azerbaijan or whatever, and like I say, I'm going back to tell them what really happened to their people and that I avenged them. Like tie it back to what we know, or show us her somewhere in Moscow visiting his people. Like here's the flag or something. So, and then we tie it together, but she just disappears off camera. Like there's going to be a season 2, and there's not going to be a season.
But see, then this is the thing too. It is a limited series. It says that straight off the top. So why not make it longer? Like I understand that British people like 3 to 4. They do, right? And then they're done. But in this one, unfortunately, because they do it the best. The 3 to 4 episode, they do it the best. But unfortunately, we needed more information. I needed to see, like you said, I needed to see what happened in Baku. You know, I needed to see a little snippet of Adam and her relationship, right? Snippets of it. I really wanted to see Cyan and see what Adam went through with Cyan, right? And then I wanted to see when he met Maddie, and then how the children became, not to say they forgot about their mom, but I'm thinking they were small children. And because they were so small, it's not that they forgot about her, but this woman was able to come in and take over as their mom, right? So I would want to see that. They could have done that in like one episode, right? Just give us more backstory. And then have Adam start to do his rise, right? Of what's going on. And then Kara, you start to see things that Kara is doing also, but like snippets of it, not the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like they could have done maybe five episodes or 6 to like round everything up, if you know what I'm saying.
No,
like
I thought it was 8. I thought the series was 8 episodes. The series,
was it?
I think the series was 8. I think the series was 8 episodes. Like
was it 8? Oh, okay.
Hold on.
I think I stopped taking notes after 6.
5 episodes.
Okay.
5 episodes, because no actor is in more than 5 episodes. 5 episodes.
Okay, so that's a problem. Like I felt like it needed maybe 6. Maybe 6.
Well, so again, if whatever's necessary to tell the story, right? If she says for 15 years, I've been the mastermind of your career, right? Like you said, one scene, show us one scene that he was in Iraq running ops in Syria or something, and the source walks in and he saves the day and da 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 da, and she's like, don't you? And she can tell him, don't you remember the time? Like she said the story, show us one. Like she ran through a couple of examples of if they would have showed us one and how his career progressed because of it, and then you find out it was her in the background or something. Then we're invested into this whole. She's been the mastermind behind this whole thing.
They could have even done that, like towards the end of it. You know how they do, like after everything was over, right? Show go to black screen and then come back and show us everything that this woman fed him and how she fed it to him, right? How, you know what I mean? Like not everything, but you know what I'm saying? Like
I'm saying, but it would after unless she's telling Maddie, right? Like she's like, because Maddie doesn't really understand their relationship, right? So unless she's sitting down, everything's over, and she's talking to Maddie and walking her through like some of this stuff, like that would have been good.
It's actually 6 episodes, but still, like that's 6 episodes. Yeah, she could have told Maddie really what happened. Like this is what happened in Baku, and as Maddie is narrating, you see what happened, right? You see them rolling around in the bed or whatever, right? Then you see all of a sudden that the bomb go off and all the guys die or something, right? And I'm talking about like flashes of stuff so that you understand what is happening. They could have put that in the beginning, they could have put it in the middle, and they could have put it in the end, but they didn't. They just kept feeding us, the information, the story, and I was like,
But it's interesting we're having this discussion because I got again all the old knives. I said that they actually spent because it was a movie and they didn't have enough time to show you present, right? Like I felt they spent too much time in the past because they were having dinner, right? So I'm like, let's get back to the dinner because that's what's going to lead to one of y'all being murdered. And I'm like, but they grounded their relationship. I knew that they were lovers. We knew why he was,
and we saw it. We saw the love, and I think that the problem with that one was they concentrated on it too long. Yeah, like it was the large majority of the movie, and it was like we only need snippets. We don't need, you know what I'm saying? We know they were in love. Like we don't need the sex act. We
don't know how many times he got it.
Exactly.
Always. So again, as it was in that movie, that led to a son that he never knew he had, and Chris Pratt I never knew he had. It would have been awesome for Maddie to be like, for Kara to be like, this is your 15-year-old son.
Yeah, this is who I've been doing all of this for, or even maybe make Kara, maybe one of the guys that got blown up was Kara's husband or boyfriend, or I don't know, something. I don't know. I just tired.
So like one does not negate the other motive, right? Like I've been searching for who killed my people in Baku. right?
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, why you been focusing on Adam for 15 fucking years, right? To be like, that's the father of my child. Like I've been like, because again, she should have a network, she should have money, she should have a house. Like, who's in Russia? Like, maybe for some reason her son is in Russia with the uncle or whatever, right? And like, I need to get back to my child, but I can't because so you know why she's trying to get back to Russia, right? And then she could just show Maddie, you know, a picture of like, what, like, why can't you leave my husband alone? Because
of this,
of Alex.
Right.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh shit, he looks just like Callum.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
Column doesn't look anything like Adam, but okay.
Yeah, so you know, casting, but
Ella,
like,
I was like,
But and then that kid, as you said on camera, that little doll didn't make no sense. Like him, this grown ass kid running around.
Yeah, it did make sense. I mean, I'm trying to think back to when my kids were like that age, and I don't remember. I remember maybe them having the action figures, right?
Yeah.
And maybe like Jimmy, the oldest one, may have an action figure, and then Kenneth younger might maybe have like I'm trying to think what he would have. He would have like a truck or you know, cars or something, right? Not what that young man had. I was like, so I thought maybe he was special, right?
Yeah.
You know, and but he wasn't. He was just a normal kid, and I was like, why is he running around with stuffed animals? And why is she making this normal? It's not normal to have a child this big to be running around with teddy bears and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's not okay. No. I was looking concerned about. Also, to the kids, I loved. It was interesting how the daughter completely snitched on Adam.
Absolutely. She was like, yeah. But she's a teenager.
Also true. I know, but she was like, I don't need my security. Now see what happened. Now you're happy.
When she lied to Mary, and she was when she told Maddie about lying about Mary. Yeah. And I was like, but that's a teenager. It's something a teenager would do. Like snitch.
I was grown when you wanted me to lie to Maddie. I was like, oh shit, damn girl, why you gotta be snitching? I mean, your mama's doing it, but that's different. I'm like, why you gotta be snitching? I was like, yeah. So I thought that was hilarious. I mean, that was I was like, because everybody was shitting on Adam, bro. I mean, like he can catch a break. I did love when he saw Maddie talking to Dee Dee, and he was like, ain't this a bitch? Like,
wait a minute, but okay, you mean to tell me? Come on, David. Did you see how close he was in proximity?
Yeah, that was.
You mean to tell me they didn't see him? At least Dee Dee didn't say, because I could see that Maddie's back was turned.
Yeah.
But Dee Dee, as big as that woman's eyes are, come on now, I have big eyes too. I can see everything. Okay.
Hey, Adam's right there.
Yes, he was right there.
Adam's staring at us. What's up, Adam?
Yes.
You coming over for dinner? Is that what we doing? Also, that never happened either.
No.
Hey, Dee Dee's in town. Hey, girl, what's going on? We coming over and talking to the kids, right? Like none of that shit. Like that is suspicious to Maddie that she wasn't like, hey, let's get together, because that was her ex-lover.
Yes.
That should have been in the story.
It was jealousy. I'm sorry. There was a lot of jealousy.
There was a lot of jealousy
on Dee Dee's part. Yeah.
That's
why I thought I was waiting for the lesbian part to come through.
Something.
Because I saved your life. I gave you a blood transfusion. Was not enough for you to like have this much anger towards kids that are not doing anything to anyone, right?
Those ain't your kids.
They are not your kids. I was like,
trifling.
I felt like the black woman with the attitude, like neck going. I was like, what is going on, Dee Dee? Relax,
look. Like, I'm sorry your girl left you, man. I'm sorry. It was just like, it was Iraq, man. Sometimes you just gay in Iraq. I mean, that don't mean you gay when you get back.
Exactly.
Something. I mean, we need to
think of it as college, right? People go off to sleep with college, right? They do what they do. They come back home. They forget what they did.
I don't even know. Don't bring that shit back. Don't bring shit back here.
Yeah. Don't even come visit me. Just I don't know you anymore.
I don't know you. She's like, no, Dee Dee, I still have our tattoo. Don't you remember? We said girlfriends forever.
Wow.
Something. Yeah. It got wild.
I did.
So the foreign minister's story, her may or may not do an assisted suicide for her mom.
Did you think she did? Like, why would you fly out I can't say the name of the special. It starts with a P.
It starts with a P.
Yeah. And I was like, why would you fly him out for all? And it costs money to do this, right? Because that's basically what they were saying. Why she was being blackmailed.
Well, I thought she used a government plane. I mean,
she did, but each time it costs money, right? Every time
of course. But government resources to do something illegal. I think on top of that.
Exactly, right. Yeah. So I was like, did she really? She said she didn't. I don't believe her. I think why would you spend that much and risk being caught?
I hear you. I mean, I hear you. But I guess what I'm saying, like, it was interesting that they went that route. It was interesting that she was openly gay, and like that wasn't like she wasn't being blackmailed for that. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I
don't think people care about this stuff.
Well, I'm saying, it depends. It depends on the kind of politician you are, and where you're at. But that's again, I'm thinking more American standards than British standards, and I can get into that. Right. But at the senior cabinet meeting or whatever, where so Maddie's coming in with the hard drive of intel, and then the foreign minister is like, "Hey, I'm about to."
Can I ask this? Why was she holding it like this?
I don't know.
I was like, that joint should have been under something, in something.
Right. Also, it's 2020. Let's just say 2020. There's no way an external hard drive is that fucking big. That shit was like the size of a fucking encyclopedia. Like, unless you were carrying hard copy files.
Yes.
That doesn't make sense. That
you
shit
can hold a terabyte in.
You can get a terabyte.
Terabytes.
Look.
Okay. Look. Come on. I was like, no.
That don't make any sense.
No. That joint was huge. They didn't need to do that. They didn't need to go backwards like that. I was like, wait a minute, hold up. Come on now.
It made no sense.
It did not. No.
And then what upset me on top of that was that there was no verification of the information before the foreign secretary started using it as evidence. Right. You know, you don't know if it's corrupted. You don't know what files made it on there, and all you see, she's saying that these confidential, files are about public officials, and Sir Martin is the one that collected it. Prove it.
Yeah, exactly.
How do we know you didn't collect it? I mean, what about these files says me?
Right.
So I don't know what the fuck you can talk about right now. So I'm just gonna be like, foreign secretary who already committed a crime. Why are you trying to point me like that? But him getting up and leaving made him look more guilty than anything. Than the files. And then conveniently, the Baku file happened to make it before all the files were destroyed or whatever, because they didn't get done scanning those files in.
No, they didn't. They did, didn't they? Because she turned off the machine.
They did. So it was two different things. Like there was a person. That's because people came in, but they didn't get fit to me because there was someone scanning them in, and there was somebody like getting rid of the files. It was like
remember that Maddie said, Cara said we have to wait until they're finished, right? No, Maddie said we have to wait till they're finished. So that's why they sat there. Maddie and Cara sat there until they saw the woman turn the machine off, and then so they did get all of it, but like you said, all of a sudden that Baku one was in there, just willy-nilly, like really.
And she was there. I mean, so plot convenience is when Adam found the files, he was able to go through. He figured out fucking Sir Martin's filing system and was like, this is where the foreign secretary's file is and mine. He found his own file. Yeah. I was like, stop.
He was pissed.
It was like, oh shit, they got me. They've been they probably knew more about him than he did, because he didn't realize that he was being manipulated this whole time. Like he thought he was just really good at his job.
Yeah. So and that someone was really just feeding him information, and he, you know what I'm saying? Like he
was cracking sources. Like he just thought he was running good ops and sources were just coming in. And she was like, nah, baby, I was behind all that stuff. I was like, damn it.
Yeah.
That again, flushing out those details would have been interesting. Hard drive was too big. Also, again, so back to Patrick confronts Maddie and she like hits him in the throat with the big ass hard drive. He's like, I was like, this is too much.
That was funny.
This is too much, bro. You can't take her, bro. Like you.
I mean, he doesn't look like a guy who's gonna be fighting. I mean, he doesn't. He's like a guy. His hair is, kind of frazzled, and but his suit is, really nice. he's not a guy who's going to be fighting. He's like, I'm too cool for all that.
He's too cool for all that. And then like he don't have a network of people working for him. Like he's like
the way that it seemed is that he does, but they're Russian.
Well, I'm saying so you would think that he had been running the other Russian agents that were in London, like the guy that was trying to get that other guy to be
Anton
to get the other guy promoted as prime minister.
Kirby.
Yeah. Like he didn't seem to be like involved in any of that. And then because the domestic desk officer was the one kind of was running like that kind of stuff. Like he was tracking those kind of activities.
Yeah,
it's that Patrick didn't seem very used from the Russian standpoint.
Yeah, he didn't seem to be in, and I think they did that on purpose. They didn't give us a lot of him, I guess, on purpose, but they gave us enough where I could figure out that he was the one. I mean, it kind of was like common sense because he's the guy who deals with the Russians, right?
I get that, but even after his reveal, I'm saying you didn't see his hand in anything. Like I was the person who did this. Like I was behind that. Like all
they didn't give you because they didn't give you anything. They just
that's what I'm saying. So
let his story in when he died. And,
So I was like, eh. So but yeah, I mean, it was absolutely it was a good series. I did enjoy it.
It doesn't need to go on, and it should have said limited series. That's what they need to do. They need to keep putting limited series on a lot of this stuff so that people stop saying it's going to be a season 2. Because no, this doesn't need a season 2. It ended the way it needed to end. Adam is dead. Kara is going back to her life in Russia. Also, she's going back to the SVR too. Because remember the chick with the blonde hair that she was talking to the Russian chick? Remember she told her she wanted to get back to that, right? Oh. Remember she said that. Okay, she said it to her. All right. She's going back to that. She wants her job back.
Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm. So because after, clearly she compromised intelligence for Adam. So I thought they'd be like, nah, we can't.
Well, of course they're gonna say that, but they know that she's good at what she does.
Apparently.
Yeah. Because remember when the lady let her go, they brought her all the way. They kidnapped her to bring her all the way to the blonde chick, right? The Russian chick, to let her go. Just to warn her. I was like, nah, you feel something for her. Like she's a top agent. Like she knows how to do her job.
Also, the other reason why you killed Dee Dee, she kidnapped the daughter.
When that was revealed, when they were sitting inside the van, and she said, and Maddie's face was like, but I knew that. I knew she did it because she's manipulative. She manipulated that whole situation. Yeah. She manipulated Maddie, and I knew she did it. I knew it was her.
It was interesting. So that night when Adam went to go meet Kara, right? Mm-hmm. It was interesting how all of a sudden, plot convenience, he no longer had to worry about his security. Because remember, like everywhere he went, security was like, up his ass, right? Like, and I was like,
but remember, but he was able to get rid of them and say, I need this to be discreet. Remember, he said that first time he got rid of them.
Yeah, but he had to be a conversation, and then I'm saying, but that night he and fucking
that was weird. How did they get out without saying anything to security?
That's what I'm saying.
And he said he was using Maddie to help him with that, and I was like, well, how is Maddie helping?
Maddie was like, well, I ain't gonna do is have my husband cheating on me, so I'm gonna get out this house too. Fuck them kids. Yeah, fuck them kids. How them kids by themselves? After my daughter got kidnapped, because I gotta figure out who's my husband's talking to in the middle of the night. Yeah. I was like, damn. I was like, she made a better spy than any MI6 agent. Like she did.
She was really good at it. And when she followed him, and then she took the video of him with Kara, and then I knew they were gonna do something to make it intimate, right?
Right, to be like she was like,
when she went and she touched him, and then she kind of like brushed his face. I was like, come on, man. Like that wasn't even necessary. For what they were doing, you had to put your face near his face. Come on.
I would have wanted to know that Kara saw Maddie and did it for her.
That would have been good.
That would have been good to be like, I had your man. Don't worry about that. I saw you. I clocked you.
I don't want him anymore, but I could get him if I want to. That was just to let you know that I could get him if I want.
Good. That would be hilarious. But I mean, to your, if this was Kara's story, they could go on, because like she could do other ops and be like, I'm good on my own, and she could get into adventures and shit, like just a new like spies, like a Jack Ryan but ex-Russian SVR agent, out there trying to do the right thing for people. Da 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 da. So I mean, and this could have been the start of her story, right?
Right.
And I think that kind of would have been interesting, but it was good anyway. It was good. Also, do you realize Adam is actually Daredevil?
Daredevil, yeah, I know. I used to watch Daredevil.
That was the first time I met Charlie Cox and saw him act. So his eyes, the way he looked in Daredevil, like kind of like he's staring, but he can't really see, and he's like these big.
Well, one of his eyes is kind of wonky. Did you notice that?
Yeah. So but in Daredevil, he's playing a blind man.
Right. So it's so that So if he looks like that, it makes sense. But in when I was looking at his eyes, I was like, and then why I'm looking at his eyes, because I know he's Daredevil, right? But I was like, one of your eyes is a little off. It's a little.
But he still looked like Daredevil. Like it's still like he's acting blind. I'm like, is he blind in this too? I was like, no, that's just his eyes. I'm like,
that's just his eye. Yeah, like one moves a little slower than the other.
And I was like, that's crazy. I was like, he still looks like Daredevil to me. I was like, and then I was like, oh shit, he's British. I was like, damn it. Of course he is. Of course. I was like, but I was like, why is Daredevil still acting blind? I was like, I was like, oh, never mind. That's the way his eyes are. And then Ken, did you watch Ken? Because he was I know Stacey watched Ken.
I haven't watched Ken yet.
Neither. But that's an AMC show. But like apparently he's in that too. Like I said,
okay.
Yeah. He's one of the stars in that show too.
Yeah, I gotta check it out. She said it was good.
I didn't see it. But I'm saying I know. But yeah, Stacey loved it, and so again, to see him outside of Daredevil, made me kind of interesting.
And he's supposed to come back as Daredevil. He's
he's committed. So they're committed to bring him back as the character. So he has a job. Ken was good. Thank Y Right.
I'm gonna check it out because she's not the only one that said it was good. Somebody else told me it was good too. So.
Yeah, I was like, and so so after I don't know things slow down, I may check it out.
There's so many shows, man.
We got what I mean. Wait,
coming back January 12th. I can't even remember what it is, but it's one of the shows that all the Queen's Men. Yeah,
all the Queen's Men. Is coming back. Why Mayfair Witches is the 12th or so.
Oh yeah. Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh wow.
It's that's on the list. So that starts. So we got quite a few returning shows and a couple new ones. So we gotta say Mayfair does that. Speaking of witches, we're gonna do Wicked City.
Okay, when are you doing that? Because I have to watch it.
So that's the weekend of the 19th. The 19th.
Oh, okay, I got time.
Because
what about Hush?
Hush. No. Sorry. Wicked City. Hush is after that. So Wicked City is 6 episodes. Hush is 8 episodes. Okay. So they're like right after each other. So I got it written down. But they'll be separate. But because I thought they were both 8. So one's 6, one's 8, and then All Black is smart because right after Hush, 8 episodes. Next weekend, the next weekend, the last season of House Divided starts.
Okay.
So they keep the original content like spaced out. So I was like, that's smart.
That's smart.
I was about to cancel that shit too. I was like, after Hush, I was gonna be like, bloop. But I was like, damn it, you got
like people do for Stars,
huh?
Like what people do in Stars.
So the BMF is over, and then there's only like a month break, if that. Before probably won't be actually BMF, and then Power Book 2 starts back up. Power Book 3. So, but I forgot to cancel it. And I really should because we didn't watch the BMF documentary, so I was just paying for this shit for no reason.
The BMF documentary was terrible. It was really bad, and then Terry wasn't even in it. Oh. Terry literally he's involved in BMF, like the show BMF, but he did not do anything when it came to this documentary, and that tells you something. Yeah, like him and his I don't know the state of him and his brother's relationship. But this was all Meech, all Big Meech, right? He did all the narration for it, told the stories, gave all the information and stuff. And he said stuff about his brother, but his brother, and everybody was like, oh, it's going to be at the end. It's going to be at the end. They're going to he's going to come out. No, Terry never. And Terry's son, nobody. The only one that was on it was his mom was on it, their mom. And they had T.I. on it. just people that you didn't expect. Like you would think it would be people. They had like maybe 3 guys who were involved in BMF. That's it. It really wasn't that many people, literally. Maybe 6 people total.
Yeah, it seemed like a hour long document that they chopped up in small
Yes,
pieces.
they did.
It wasn't like it wasn't episodes. Like it was like segments. It was like segments that they just stretched out. And I was like,
and they talked to 50 Cent maybe 3 times. And why? I don't know.
And why, who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying?
You weren't involved in any of this.
This shit. So why are we doing it? Yeah, I don't know. So why rights? Thank you. We're gonna do Mayfair Witches, because I know we didn't do an interview with the vampire. Like we didn't do it as it was airing, and that was my fault. But we're gonna do Mayfair Witches. We do post schedules in the community section. So every day, every weekend when we're about to close, I try my best to keep it up there. So we usually start recording around 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, sometimes 12. Tomorrow we're starting at 12. When we do, I have a story to tell, but we do try to we try to post there. So if you subscribe to the channel, you can check out the community section. We'll do it there. And again, I wrote out the schedule for the next couple of weeks in January. So we will post that as we do it. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are most of our recordings. Just because people, got jobs, they're busy during the week, so we try to do that. And then every once in a while, so Stacy and I, we do the Oval during the week on Friday, but most of our stuff is after 1 o'clock on Saturday and Sunday. No more than 3 recordings on the weekend a day, unless shit gets really bad, but we try to keep it to that. So we try to do that. But again, thank you for asking questions. All right, Kim, I will see your lovely face tomorrow.
Yes.
As we talk about.
At my time, it'll be 11 a.m.
Thank you. As we discuss, I got a story to tell.
I'm gonna go over here and start watching 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, and 5. Right? Yeah, that's it.
Are you doing the movie again?
No. There's no reason to do that movie again. I know everything about. That's the one I actually remember is the movie.
Oh, really?
Because it's based on other horror movies. Right?
It was definitely inspired. It was definitely inspired by other movies. They just kind of put out that together. Oh, thank you. Seth. Oh, thank you. Well, thank you for finally commenting.
Thank you.
We do appreciate it. We are an acquired taste, apparently. But we do it. Yeah, so we're gonna do each episode, right? What we like, then like that sort of thing. Rewrites as we do. And then we'll talk about the movie. So and like I said, that again, that's a lot of pieces. This is a lot of pieces. So I only went back and rewatched episode 1 and 1. Just because it was so many things. I wanted to make sure I got like timing of whatever, like when certain things happen and then the leaps of logic.
Because 3 is what I'm gonna ready to watch, but I'm gonna fast forward through it because it's basically a guy who was jealous of his own sister and whatever. But
that had the most plot twists.
It did.
You and then again, go back as you watch it. I think you'll note again the mistress had no lines. Like I said, she was 2 images. It was 2. He broke into her house. You see 2 images of some woman in her underwear or some shit. There's a badge that he's pulling for some reason. And then I guess we're like, what? There's too many things. We just have to kind of be like, okay, this means this. But like you said, it was probably to me, that was probably the best, as you said, like one of the best episodes that could have been a really good, interesting movie that they put some effort into it.
Yeah.
And flushed out the characters. Like that would have been a very oh my God, what did you say he did? What and who and that kind of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. Anyway.
Yeah, it is a lot. It is a lot. It is. And that guy is from the guy who's playing the brother. He's from Sisters, Tyler Perry's Sisters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then Andrew, Tyler Perry actors are in this shit. Just Black TV actors, like the streaming actors. One in the circuit, like you see a lot of them, they just kind of pop up, and like at least 3 of them, 4 of them, you're like, oh, that's that one. Yeah, and I remember that one. And like so they stay employed.
So that's why I feel like it may get another season because they are, you know what I'm saying? Because just based on, Young Jock has a huge following, even though he hasn't done rapping, I don't know how long, but he does, you know what I'm saying? He has a following. And I think that's why they hired this type of people like April Jones. she has a following because she was on it, the Atlanta shows, right?
Okay.
The Real Housewife, whatever it's called. But she was on that, the hip hop stuff. So that's why they're doing it. I think that's why. Jess Hilarious, huge. And she was on Wild 'N Out, right? She was on there with Nick Cannon. So she's got a huge audience. Yeah.
So they pick famous people for the audience that they're trying to attract for this type of show.
Yes.
And again though, like if they do a season 2, these don't seem like trained actors where they can be like, we're just gonna use the same people for a different story.
No, they're gonna bring more. They're gonna bring different ones
like
to
different
get
people.
that audience. Yeah.
Yeah, and then make up new stories, but the format's still the same, except for that last movie. But like the first 5 to be like kind of filled that format. They can do it. Give a little bit more time. Get some little bit better writers. To fill us a lot of these plot holes. They could have something together.
And I feel like the person who starts it off, I want it to be their story, not a story that they were told. You know what I'm saying? Or they're telling. It would have been good if it was Candy's story, right? Like she did this, but she came out smelling like roses, right? Because she's obviously free, drinking with her girls, right? You know what I mean? I think that would have been more intriguing than it being a story she was telling about another friend,
somebody else, or somehow she was involved, like she was the 4th girlfriend, and then like of the band after his wife killed the 3.
Yes,
somehow she survived not being murdered, like something, or and like something like that. Like that would have been something. If even necessary to the story itself. Like the story itself was like I said, separate from the intro. So it kind of made the intro in some cases like this unnecessary. Like why was this, especially Candy's one? She was at the beginning and the end, but that had, like I said, nothing to do with the story.
Nothing to do with the story
at all. It's just it's
tie
hard.
It together. Yeah.
Like even the psychiatrist. Hey, I'm a psychiatrist. I understand patient-client confidentiality, but anywho, I'm gonna tell you a story about what about. I'm like that's against the law. Like what are we doing? What are we doing?
Well, that whole storyline was against all the rules because she's like the best friend, and then
well, I mean the therapist who's telling the story. Like that's what I'm saying. Like obviously your son wants to fuck you. Let me tell you about another son who wanted to fuck his mama. I'm like,
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Right, and I'm like, what the fuck? I was like that. I want to hear her story. Like, forget this. I need this. Like, where's this story go? And then the son is standing outside. Like, I was like, what the fuck is this? Like,
creepy as hell.
I was like, he followed you to therapy. Like, that's part 2. Like, let me get into that story. Like, so that's what I'm saying. So, like, anyway, it was kind of all over the place.
It really was. It was. There's a lot going on all of these stories, but
we will do it tomorrow. I hope you have a great rest of the year and
you too. You too. Oh yeah, that's right. It is New Year's Eve. I forgot. I didn't get any champagne, so oh well.
It's all right. Terry and I had some beans and some ice cream. And we're gonna look at each other and fall asleep and see what happens. And we will do Avatar tomorrow. As we start 2023.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah. Let me know how it was. I don't really have it. It's so long since I've seen the first one. I'm just interested in the second one. So
it's fine. It's blue people. It's blue people fighting other blue people. It's blue on blue violence.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it is because like the Marine comes back. They take a copy of his consciousness and put him into an avatar, and then they fight.
Really?
Yeah.
So that actor is not in it anymore.
I'm sure the guy came back to voice him. I'm saying his character died. Like his character died in the first movie. Somehow they kind of like Altered Carbon. Like they have a copy of who he was, and they make an avatar out of him to lead the enemy.
Okay. There was another movie like that too. There was another movie. I think it was Jake Gyllenhaal that did it, where with his conscience, he came back from Afghanistan.
Oh yeah. So I remember it was a time travel movie.
Yeah, it wasn't like half his body was gone. Right? It was just his brain.
Yeah.
That was so sad.
When they showed his body, it was so sad. It hurt
I had to stop it and just it's a lot. Wasn't it terrible?
It was so sad. But then was fucked up though. Technically, he stole somebody else's body and life. Because he took over. It was like, hey, by the way, murder me. Like, if you got this letter, I stopped the bombing, and please kill me. Please kill the person because I'm living my best life in somebody else's body.
Right.
But to see him like,
Oh, it
I
was
was like,
terrible.
oh, it was.
I
It
was like,
hurt.
this is bad. This
It
is
hurt.
bad.
Because I was like RoboCop for some reason. I felt like it was like RoboCop, like a man just like stuck in a machine.
Yeah. It was like RoboCop.
Something
Yeah.
like that. Like just like all parts. Like once you separate the thing, he's nothing. He's just like it was hard. It was hard to
Yeah,
watch.
it was hard to watch, but it was very well made. I thought it was a really good movie.
Yeah, like he kept on coming back. He was like, okay, you only got 10 minutes. And it's like, so that's constant trauma of like doing that. But then he was able to again leap his consciousness into someone else. And then be like, hey, girl, let's get off this train, even though I'm not the same guy. Cause I took like it's like Wonder Woman 2. Like it's like if you put somebody else's consciousness in somebody else's body, what happened to that person's consciousness? Like where's that at?
Where did it go? Yeah.
Like, don't worry, Jake Gyllenhaal's fine. He's living his best life. It's fine with new life and legs and arms. Anyway, thanks for